Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today we are going to be making one of the chunky journals. This is going to be the Vintage Textiles chunky journal. The images that I've used here includes a lot of vintage fabrics, letters, vintage like images of music sheets and such. Here are the final pieces included in this kit. This is quite a lot of, there are a lot of flaps in this, so I have made sure to name them as ABCD so that we get a good understanding of what goes where. So I will try to explain it as easily and so that you can make this journal. I printed all the flaps and the panels in around 180 GSM paper, and I've also printed on the back using the background papers for all of these sheets. Yeah, this kit is quite a lot. You can see that I included lots of tags, ephemeras, labels, and I've also included a few more that I have not shown over here. You will get it in the actual kit. So first step, we are going to prep this kit. I'm just going to fold along these lines and make those windows, cut out those windows that you see over there. And these lines, whatever I'm showing, those lines I'm just going to fold along those lines and cut out this window also. Here I have done almost all of those foldings and flaps. I have just folded them along. So this is going to be the main panel. I have the panel A, spine, and the panel B. So we are going to be start assembling the entire thing inside the this entire panel. So we are going to start with panel A. We will finish panel A, then go on to panel B. So this is going to be the C and D panel. I have the window on the panel C. So this window I am using a transparent sheet to cover it out. I'm just using some tape to make sure the transparent sheet holds in place. So this is done, and now I want to glue this along the entire panel A, inside of the panel A, and fold it along like this. And because I wanted to use some stitching over here, I thought I will just go ahead and make sure I just went ahead and used my sewing machine to give all these the stitching patterns, as you can see. So first this one, this is going to be the window panel, the C panels, the flap C. I'm going to add it to panel A as a top pocket. You can see that I have added glue just along the three sides so that I can have like a tag or an ephemera that will be inserted into this pocket from the top. So we have panel C and D is flap C and D is completed. Let's move on to this one. This is going to be the flap E with the pocket. So I'm just folding it like so, and this pocket, the letter part, the blue vintage part that you see, that will add as a pocket onto the D flap. So I'm adding glue along the three sides of this pocket and glue it to panel to the flap D. And that will just remain as a flap. The blue part is going to be the flap. So let's see. So this is panel A. I have already added C and D with the pocket, and E. I just added E. So this is going to be the F flap. The entire thing is going to be the F flap. I have the main F flap and the F1 and F2. So this is the spine again, the F spine. What I want to do is glue this spine along the already main panel's spine. As you can see, I'm just going to place it like this, and the empty part I'm just going to glue it exactly along the spine of the main panel. So adding glue to the spine of this F flap and gluing it along the main panel's spine. So since I'm adding like a double coverage along the main panel, it becomes a bit more sturdy. As you can see, I already added a flap to the panel A, and now the spine has a double covering. Again, the other part will also have a double covering. So this is what we have till now. I've added AB is the main panel, and flap C, D, E and F are now done. So these are the top and the bottom flaps for the F flap. So whatever the rose pattern that you see, the main flap, yeah, that one, I'm going to add these top and bottom flaps to the back of that exact flap. So I'm just adding glue and gluing it along the bottom, then the top one also I'll be adding it. So there you go, we have this one. Now to cover the attached areas, I have this one. This is going to be the G and H flap. Whatever you are going to see in the middle, that is going to be the G one, and the red floral part, that's going to be the H one. So I'm going to just add some more stitching to the flap so that it looks a bit more good, and I've also like trimmed down the area so that it fits into this entire journal more nicely. So I'm just gluing it, whatever the letter part that you see, I'm just gluing it along the inside over here. All of this is happening behind the F flap. There you go. I have the top bottom flap, the H1 or the red floral flap, and making sure everything is closing nicely. And this is where it has all happened. So that rose flap, the main F flap, is where I have glued everything now. So that's how it's all going to look now. Let's see again what we have done. We have the main panel A and C, D, E, and this is the F flap, and we also have the G and H flap with the top and bottom flaps. We have done the panel A part. Now let's move on to the panel B part. I have the main sheet with the music sheet, that is going to be the I and J flap. So I want to add this as a side pocket, so I'm just going to add glue along 3 sides so that I can add like an ephemera into the side. So the music sheet will fit along the main panel nicely and add as a side pocket also. There you go, we have the I and J flap. Now we have this flap, which is the J flap with the pocket. I am going to, that being the J flap again, this is going to be like the pocket that I want to add along with the flap over here, side pocket. The music sheet, we are just in the panel B now. I'm just going to add this flap with the pocket along the plain part that you see along with the music sheet. There you go. We have one more pocket over here. So this is going to be the K L flap. We have the K pocket. The blue side is the K pocket, and the beautiful orange part, that's going to be the L flap, and the middle one is going to, I'm just going to name it as K. So I am going to add this as a pocket to the back of the J flap again. So to the front of the J flap, I just added one pocket, and the next pocket to the back of the J flap. This is all happening on the J flap, as you can see. I'm just folding it accordion style, and there you have it. So we had the J flap, the plain part, that I have added 2 flaps already on it as pockets to the front and the back of it. Here we have this envelope over here. This is going to be the L envelope. I am going to add this L envelope to the orange part that you just saw. That's the L flap. I'm just going to add it to the back of that L flap. So first of all, I'm just going to glue it on the top and bottom, I'm just using my sewing machine to stick them together, and it wasn't the best idea. So anyway, so I have the envelope now with a side pocket right there, and the extra part of the envelope that you see, so that's the L orange part, the L flap. To the back, I'm going to add this part as a pocket again. I'm just using my circle punch to make a semicircle over here, so that it makes like a pocket, and add it like so. So this kit can be a confusing one, so I will make sure to add an instruction PDF to make sure that you get what I have. You can make it more easy to have like an instruction page along with you, and you can also slow down this video while following. So we have done almost all of it. So this is the entire journal over here. We have done the panel A and panel B. So here you have it. We have these flaps, all these top and bottom. And for the panel B, we have this vintage beautiful part with the envelope on the back, and again a pocket flaps, and the music sheet. So next step is going to be the pocket flaps that I have over here. So we have all these different sizes of pocket flaps that I have given over here. I want to add these to the different parts. So the window, again, I'm just going to cover it with a transparent sheet. And I thought I will go with the sewing machine, but I broke the needle, so it was just half of it was done and my needle broke. So anyways, I'm going to add this pocket flap exactly onto this F2 flap over here. We had folded the F1 and F2, but I think the pocket flap will make it. So the idea was to add like 2 mini pockets onto the side, but if I add that, I couldn't like fold the pocket flap. So I thought that maybe I should just leave it as such and add this as a pocket over here. So that's how it came out, and maybe add these 2 pockets later on, like behind and the front. I will show you later on how it turns out. So this is another pocket that I have that will go as an enclosure over here onto the music sheet. And I wanted to add that, eyelets along with the rounds. So I have these over here. These I have included, these 4 rounds that I have included, but then I also wanted to add like eyelets over to these top and bottom flaps, but I didn't like the color, so I am going to make an extra. I'm just going to use my circle punch to make some circles from leftovers from the background that I have just printed. I'm just using like a 5/8 inch of this circle punch over here and using that as an closure for the eyelet part. And I'm going to use these two over here. So I'm just punching in and using an eyelet to for the enclosure. Repeating the same process onto the other side. I'm just eyeballing it into like half the length. I'm just eyeballing it. You can also use like your measurements and do the same for a cleaner look, but I'm not that perfect. So again, I'm just using like both the circles over here to make this enclosure over here for this one. So that's done. Now let's move on to fixing this pocket onto the music sheet part. So and again I'm just curving the edges over here. So we have moved on to the music sheet now finally, and I am going to add this pocket over here, and again I'm going to add it as a top pocket, so that I'm just going to glue along the 3 sides so that I can add like a tag on the top. And onto the K flap over here, we have the K flap that is beside the orange part that you see. So there I'm just going to add these mini flaps over here. I have included 2 of these mini flaps, so I'm just going to add these along the right side of that K part, K flap. There you go. I'm just going to add it top and bottom onto the right side of this K flap, or the one immediately beside the orange fabric part that you see. And to cover up this attached part, I will add a pocket later on, so nothing to worry about it. And lastly, I have this pocket flap over here with a square window. Again, redoing the same part, adding a transparent sheet. Wherever I've added the mini flaps, I'm just going to turn it back, and immediately onto the back of that flap I'm going to add this pocket flap again. So I wanted to add it as a top pocket right here. You can also do it like a sideways kind of a thing, as you can see over here. So you will just have to attach it using this kind of the flap that is given. So I'm just going to add glue along the side flaps, and so that I want it as a top pocket. The bottom one I just left it so that I can attach it to the K flap. So I'm just going to show you again where I'm attaching it. The ones that I added the mini pockets, the K flap, I'm just adding it to the back of that. There you go. Again, to hide this attachment, we will add another pocket later on. So here you go, we are like almost 50% completed. Here are the flaps and the panels, pocket flaps that we have over here. All of these with the mini flaps also, the envelope. I just thought that maybe the pocket flap will fit along the inside more than that side, so I'm just closing it like together along with the other pocket flaps. And we'll start with the adding pockets in a minute. Here I'm just going through the entire journal again so that I have not missed anything. So let's start adding pockets now. So for the front of the journal, I have these two flaps, two pockets over here. Too many flaps. Okay, so I'm just adding these two pockets and layering them on top of each other. This is going to be the front of the journal. Now on to the inside of the journal. Let's move on. We have already added like these flaps along with the pockets, so most of the pockets are done. We have like little pockets that we can just add. So this is another like kind of a flap kind of a situation over here. I want to add these empty kind of paper pockets. I want to add this one over to the bottom of this blue part over here, and add this as a flap kind of a thing. You will see what I am just going to do. So I'm adding glue to the three sides. And by the way, this is the background paper that I have just printed on the back of that pocket, so that's what you're seeing. I wanted this one to be like an empty kind of a pocket. Like empty page kind of a texture over there. So anyway, I want to add this as a flap and give it a pocket at the back, but I wanted to add an enclosure, and I realized that I had added the enclosure, like the bottom pocket already. A lot of thinking, so that how do I complete this, because I just realized that I had already stuck the pocket over here, so because of that I couldn't like add the eyelet onto this pocket. But here I just added the enclosure for this one, for the top flap, and later on I'll just show you like how to add the other enclosure. We had already attached like a pocket, and we just wanted to add an enclosure. So again, from the remaining part of the kit, from the background part, I'm just going to cut out some circles. I'm just using like 3 circles, 1 inch, 5/8 an inch, and I believe 1/2 an inch, to make like 3 circles over here on top of each other. and make an eyelet out of that and glue the entire thing onto the pocket. That's what I thought that I could do. Finally, I realized that after like 20 minutes of struggle. So there you go, I've just added the entire thing. Now I'm just checking if like I can add a rope along this eyelet over here, and I can add the rope onto the second part of the circle and close it, and so that the bottom circle, the larger circle, I'll just stick it, glue it to the pocket. There you go, I just glue the entire pocket onto entire circle onto the pocket, and now I can just close both of these eyelets together using the rope. Finally, I can now add this flap over here so that this becomes a top pocket onto the blue side, and also like a cute closure on the back side. So that's done. So we have a pocket over here, a top pocket, and this just opens up so that I can add like a tag onto this pocket that I've already glued. Okay, so let's move on to the next one now. So this is where I thought I could add like 2 mini pockets over here on the top and bottom, but the pocket flap was covering it up too much, so I thought that maybe I can just add one of these mini pockets to this side, and onto the back side add the other pocket. There you go. Next, let's move on to the main part over here. We have the larger pocket over here. I'm just going to add this, and onto the top and bottom flaps I have like these vertical pockets that I'm just going to add along the sides. Right, moving along, I have these cute side pockets that are going to go along the back of this red floral flap. So this is what it's going to turn up. I've already attached one of the pockets. The other pocket I've just attached it over here. There you go. So now that we are done with panel A, let's move on to the panel B. Again, we have this enclosure pocket. I'm just adding this mini pocket onto the middle part, and already we have these pockets and envelopes and pocket flaps. And here to complete this part, to like disguise the attached part, I'm adding this big pocket, the larger pocket over here. And to cover this attached part of this pocket flap, I have another larger pocket again. I'm going to add this pocket onto this part. Right, so panel B was quite easy. We have just like few pockets over here. And the last pocket, I thought that it would be nice to add it to because of the contrast, I just wanted to add it to this red floral part over here. And we are done with the journal. Let's look at the pockets. We have the front pockets over here, and then opening up the panel A, we have these side pockets, the top one, and I've just closed it using the rope, and once we open it, we have a pocket over here. Okay, so here are the pocket flaps, the mini pocket, and again pocket, the top and bottom ones over here, and again another enclosure and the larger pocket with the top and bottom flaps. And that was panel A. Moving on to panel B. So I had closed it like so, then I thought that maybe I can just close it like this so that I have this beautiful vintage part that I can see up front. And we have the envelope over here, again a pocket, larger pocket, all these pocket flaps along this side, and these pockets over here, and again another enclosed pocket and a top pocket. So these are all that is done over here. Now comes the fun part, decorating the entire journal. I have included a lot of ephemera, and I have also included like labels so that you can use them to decorate the entire journal as you wish. And this part I just wanted to show how to use this one. So we have made this entire window kind of a pocket over here. I wanted to insert this one inside so that it shows through this transparent sheet, and I also wanted to attach this part, this entire flap part, the front flap part, like so, and so that once I insert this thing inside the window and close it, okay, let me just like cover it up first. I'm just adding glue onto two sides so that I can insert like a tag or ephemera into this again. The idea was that I added one part of this flap into the pocket, the other flap is out onto the front of the journal, so that the front of the journal is entirely like this part of the flap that shows through. This is spot. The idea was this, but I felt that this was too simple, so I just changed the entire, switched it up so that that goes inside the pocket and this becomes the front of the journal. I think I like this one better. Here you go. So this is optional. You can just insert the entire thing into the pocket, or you can do this. And I had to trim down a little bit so that it fits exactly into the pocket, this part of the front flap. So this is front flap, by the way. I have included like two part of this front flap in the kit. You can just cut them out and glue it together like I did, and there you go. This is how it's going to be. So this is going to be the front of the journal. Right, let's move on to decorating the entire journal. As I already mentioned, lots of ephemera, lots of labels. You can just use them to add them to different parts of your journal. Here is the final reveal of the journal. This is the vintage textile junk journal. The planning of the journal did take some time. Making sure it turns out really good also took a lot of time and a lot of effort. So I hope you liked this video. I hope that you will get the journal and enjoy making the journal. If you have any suggestions, you can just comment them, or you can also go to my Instagram and message me. I will include the link to my Instagram in the description below. You can also join my newsletter to get discounts and coupon codes. So this is the front flap that I had mentioned and rambled along for a long time how to make. So I will include the link for this kit in the description below. I hope that you liked this chunky journal. I want to make more of these chunky journals. They are quite fun to make, but the planning and the time and effort that it takes to put a plan into making one of these, it does take a lot of effort, I would say. So but once it comes into place, it's such a fun kit to work with. And I hope that you also liked this kit. You can also check out more of my kits in the shop. And I hope that you liked this video. I will see you soon in another video. Until then, bye bye.